What's going on, guys? Said Hendo here. You know what it's all about, as you can see in the thumbnail. You know I'm going to be talking about VTXs today. In particular, I'm going to be talking about the TBS Unify VTX. Now, most of us use this VTX. Most of us understand that it's a good VTX. It works well. But someone please explain to me why I have this many that are broken. Someone tell me why I have 8 VTXs right here that don't work in some form or fashion. Now, unlike some of the other components that I use, ESCs, cameras, and things like that, these actually fail in different ways. Some of them, the video slowly goes out and it just stays staticky, and and that's it. Some of them just don't work at all. They power up, they do what they're supposed to do that way, but they don't put out any video. Unfortunately, this is not the first handful of VTXs of Unifys that I've had go out. I was actually at I/O and I knew that Trappy was going to be there, so I actually took a handful of the ones that were broken from the past year or so, and I saw him at Denny's and I was like, oh, Trappy's here? Great opportunity for me to speak to him and have a conversation with him and see what am I doing or what's going on with the product. Now, I already ruled myself out as being the reason why these VTXs were going bad, because I pay attention to how I build. I make sure my polarity is correct, things like that. I do all of the necessary things to make sure that my components are working well. So it doesn't matter if it's a camera, ESC, or VTX. They work great. But over time, short amount of time, they just seem to fail for whatever reason. At this rate, this is too much. This is way too much failure. 4 of these are Unify HVs. The other 4 are the race version HV. And even though the race version HV is cheaper, that means nothing to me. I still paid my hard-earned money for this, and they're broken for no reason. It's not like I had some catastrophic crash and destroyed the components on the board or something like that. I'll see what I fly the Tokyo or I fly the Proton. They're all in a canopy, they're all protected, they're all mounted solidly. I don't just leave my VTX dangling around and bobbling around on the inside. It's actually on a stack. And I don't understand why I continue to have these issues. Now, just so you know, I'm not the only guy in my group that uses the Unify. Everyone in my group uses a Unify. Everyone. And every one of us has at least 4 failures. So you do the math. I have 8 right here. I had a handful before, which are like 10 that I gave to Trappy. My buddies have at least 3 or 4 over time, maybe even more, that have failed. And I just don't get it. Now, I do understand that products kind of go through this transitional stage where they kind of work out the kinks and things like that. When are you going to work out the kinks on this one? Now, I know the V3 is coming out. I'm very leery about the V3 coming out. I'm not sure if it's going to work, or continue to work, I should say. It'll work when you put it on. It'll work for a little bit, but after a few uses, who knows if that's actually going to continue to work. There's where my problem is more than anything. Now, all of you guys can see through my videos that I'm not afraid to spend a bit of coin on my quads. I mean, I have at least 10 quads at any given time, maybe even more, and all of them need a VTX on them. So I'm going to put something on there. There's not much out there that's better than the Unify when it comes to fitment, when it comes to ease of installation, and when it comes to what makes sense. It has smart audio. Now you can do so many things with it, but the point of fact is, all of that means nothing if it doesn't continue to work. Just like the cameras, just like the ESCs, none of that crap means anything if it doesn't continue to work. Now, get back to my conversation that I had with Trappy. When I handed Trappy all of these VTXs, he took down my name and my number and said that he would send me some replacements. Now, I've emailed Trappy at least 3 times now, and I've gotten nothing from him. No response, no nothing. Basically, I feel like I got a big screw you from him. And you know, that hurts my feelings. That's not how I thought that relationship would go. I'm not one to pick fights or do any of that stuff, regardless of what some people might think. I'm the type of person like, hey, fine. That's the way you want to do it. That's fine with me. I can move on from there. But my point is as a consumer, regardless of how Trappy has treated me, as a consumer, I'm left with this dilemma. Do I continue to buy his product, or do I move on to something else? And I think that's the same question you should ask yourself. Do I continue to buy this product that obviously Cedric has had issues with, Ivan, Adam, Taylor, Justin, Mark, everyone? Or do I try to find something else that may be a little bit more consistent? I make these videos so you guys can understand that these products have issues and they need to be remedied. If no one says anything about them, then we'll consistently have this issue. So for yourself, you figure that out. For yourself, you find out whether or not you want to continue down this road. And if you do, hey, all for it. You go right ahead. Now, I know that there's probably some of you out there are going to be thinking, well, hold on, Sed, you have problems with ESCs, you've had problems with cameras, you've had problems with VTXs. What about flight controllers? What about motors? That's for another video. All of that's for another video. I have plenty to say about a lot of that stuff. But let's just be honest, flight controllers don't go out that often. Motors don't go out that often. But I have a bone to pick with the motor manufacturer that I no longer use. I refuse to use any of their products. I don't care what they come out with. I don't care how much money they put up at races to get people to use their product. I really don't care. Don't like them. They failed me, continue to fail, and I just won't deal with it anymore. But anyway, that's my spiel on the TBS Unify. Hopefully they get better. Hopefully they get better. I'd rather use a TBS Unify. I'd rather Trappy contact me like he said he would and replace these things. But you know what? I'm not going to hold my breath for it. But anyway, peace out, guys. Thanks for listening. See you next time.